If you're looking for that perfect piece of rural land, here are some things that you need to know. Hey there folks, welcome back to Land Your Ground. This is part 2 of our series on buying rural land, focusing on finding the right piece of property. Once you've decided what you want, it's time to start the search. Here's what you need to do. Use online listings, local newspapers, and networking to find available land. Some of the more popular websites you could use in your land search include land.com, Lands of America, LandWatch, Crexi, and of course Facebook Marketplace and other social media platforms. And put the word out. Talk to friends, coworkers, family members, people at church, and let them know what you're looking for and where you're looking for it. People love to pick their neighbors, and also people like to spend other people's money. So let them help you do the shopping. And this could be extremely valuable, especially when it comes to finding off-market deals or properties that weren't even publicly listed for sale. The next step, once you've found something that you like, is going to be called due diligence. Now, this is ruling properties out essentially because of things you found about them that are not going to let you do what you want to do with the property, such as zoning restrictions or really high property taxes or restrictive covenants and easements, things like that. There are things that you might find once you dig a little bit deeper into a piece of property that make it not a good prospect for you, even if on the surface it was a really exciting piece of property for you. The next step is called the valuation process, and there's essentially 2 methods that you can use to do this. One is a comparative market analysis, which involves finding 6 to maybe 10 recent solds, that would be in the last 6 to 12 months, properties that are very similar as possible in acreage, geolocation, amenities, things that they offer, buildings and structures that they have on them or don't have on them, hard road versus gravel, etc. You want to find properties that look as much like your property of interest as possible, so that it is as much as can be a apples to apples comparison. But it's not going to be. So you're going to take those 6 to 10 properties and plug them into a spreadsheet. And then you're going to make adjustments to each of those comps based on whether it's more valuable or less valuable than the comparable property that you're looking at. Another method is what we refer to as a breakdown method, where essentially you're dissecting a property into its characteristics or its features. You have maybe a homestead, for example, that has 20 or 40 raw acres, if we just looked at them that way, and we put a value on what that raw land is worth. And then an older farmhouse, and maybe just consider it on a half an acre so that you could compare it to other residences and put a value on that. Maybe it has a machine shed, maybe it also has a pond or a lake, and so you put a value on each of those separate improvements, and then you assemble all of those numbers together for a ballpark figure of what that property should be worth overall. Determining a personal value for the property that you're interested in is very important, because just because somebody's asking a certain price for the farm or property does not mean that that's necessarily what it's worth, or at least not what it's worth to you, because the value is going to be different from one buyer to the next. How many of your needs did it meet? How many boxes did it check for you as a buyer? Is it the ideal property for you? And then in that case, you feel it's probably worth full asking price. Or if it's not, but you'd still be an interested buyer, but maybe you need to add some additional equity after you purchase the property, so you would need to buy it at a lower price. It's important that you learn how to value each property for yourself based on your own needs and your own wants, but then also understanding that comps do matter, and especially if you're looking at purchasing it with financing, you're going to need an appraisal. So it will need to appraise for the value that you agree to pay for it. We'll get to that in the next part of this series. We're now halfway through the series on buying rural land. If you missed part 1, you should go back and check that out. Next will be parts 3 and 4 to get you all the way through the whole process from start to finish. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to join our tribe. Also, ring the bell to get notifications when we put out more valuable content. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Land Your Ground.